Welcome to another deep dive, everybody. Today, we're going to be looking at what it means to inherit a legacy, both literally and figuratively.
Right.
And we're going to kind of use the story of WIRI Bafu Base in Taiwan to kind of explore that.
Okay.
This is a cross-cultural mission training base, and it's nestled high in the mountains of Hualien County in Taiwan.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So to tell this story, we're going to be drawing from a special podcast that was actually done to celebrate the base's 10th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is kind of cool because we're getting this kind of insider perspective.
Yeah.
And the story is really about family faith and like the sheer determination of one man, Pastor Lumaow, who inherited this land and transformed it into what it is today.
Yeah, it's really a fascinating story.
Yeah, so let's start with this idea of inheritance.
Okay.
Like, what makes Pastor Lumaow's story unique in that regard?
Well, Pastor Lumaow's father wanted to divide his land fairly among his sons.
Okay.
And he initially proposed they draw lots.
Oh, wow.
Which I have to admit, it sounds a bit like something out of a movie.
Okay, so let's get into it. We know Bafu Base was inherited by Pastor Lumaow, but it sounds like it wasn't your typical, here you go, congratulations inheritance.
No, not at all. In Banan tradition, land is sacred. It's something that's passed down very carefully through the generations. In Pastor Lumaow's family, the land was to be divided among the siblings.
Okay.
And initially, their parents considered a lottery system.
Seems fair.
Yeah, you'd think so, right? Everyone gets an equal chance. But then one of the brothers suggested another way to do it. He proposed that the eldest brother should get to choose his plot first.
Oh, interesting.
Then the next brother, and so on.
Yeah.
Which meant that when it got to Pastor Lumaow, the youngest, there was only one plot left.
Wow.
And that plot became what we now know as Bafu Base.
And that piece of land became Bafu Base.
Yes.
What does this tell us about the Banan tradition, which is Pastor Lumaow's heritage?
Well, I think it reveals a lot about their values.
Okay.
The Banan people, they have this deep connection to the land. They really view it as something to be cherished and passed down through generations.
Right.
So leaving the final choice to the youngest son wasn't about giving him the leftovers.
Yeah.
It was about ensuring that each son received a portion
that held a particular significance for the family.
This is where I start to wonder about the land itself.
Okay.
Was the plot Pastor Lumaow inherited considered desirable? Or was there more to it than meets the eye?
That's a great question, and I think it gets to the heart of what legacy truly means.
Okay.
The land where Bafu Base stands wasn't exactly prime real estate. It was rocky, undeveloped, and to be honest, it seemed less appealing than the other plots.
Okay, so not the most obvious choice for like a thriving mission training base.
Right.
What drew Pastor Lumaow to this particular plot then?
There was a deep personal connection.
Okay.
Part of that land was actually where his mother had lived when she married his father.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't just about the physical characteristics of the land. It was about the history embedded in it.
Yeah.
The echoes of his family's past.
It sounds like this land already held a sense of legacy even before Bafu Base came to be.
Absolutely.
And speaking of significant events on this land,
Yeah.
there's a pretty dramatic story involving Pastor Lumaow's grandfather and a windstorm, right?
Oh, yes. This is a good story.
Yeah.
This story highlights the family's deep faith and how it's intertwined with the history of this land.
Okay.
We're talking about a powerful windstorm that nearly took the grandfather's life.
Wow.
Imagine this. The wind was so fierce, it tore the roof right off their house.
I mean, that's a powerful image.
Oh, yeah.
You can almost feel the force of that wind.
Definitely.
What happened next?
Well, the grandfather, trying to grab the roof as it flew away,
Oh, my God.
was lifted into the air.
Oh, no.
It was a terrifying moment for everyone.
Yeah.
His wife, the grandmother, immediately tried to use her skills as a shaman
Oh, wow.
to bring him back down.
So she drew on her traditional knowledge in that moment of crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Did it work?
It didn't.
Yeah.
The wind only grew stronger.
Oh, no.
But then, in a moment of desperation, she remembered her Christian faith.
Okay.
She started to pray, and almost immediately the wind subsided, allowing her husband to land safely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pivotal moment for the family.
Yeah.
A moment where their faith was truly tested and ultimately reaffirmed.
Yes.
Did this experience influence their approach to life on the land?
Absolutely. I think this event solidified the role of faith in their lives.
Okay.
And this theme of faith and prayer would continue to play a significant role as Pastor Lumaow began to develop Bafu Base.
Okay, so let's talk about Pastor Lumaow's role.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't just inherit the land, he transforms it.
Right.
What was his mindset going into this?
Even before he knew which plot of land would be his,
Okay.
Pastor Lumaow was praying for guidance, vowing to work diligently no matter which piece he received.
That dedication.
Yes, it really is, especially considering he knew the last plot might be the most challenging.
Right. And this dedication really shines through in his actions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. He didn't hesitate.
I mean,
He immediately began transforming the land, taking a 7-tiered terrace that wasn't being used and reshaping it into a 4-tiered one to increase its usability.
Wow.
It was hard physical work,
Yeah.
but he tackled it head on.
I can't help but wonder how his father must have felt witnessing his youngest son's commitment to this seemingly less desirable plot of land.
Well, his father was deeply moved by Pastor Lumaow's dedication, and he took great pride in seeing his son's commitment to the land.
Yeah.
It really underscored the idea of passing on a legacy, not just of land, but of values and work ethic.
This brings us to what I imagine was one of the biggest hurdles in developing Bafu Base
Okay.
access.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that it wasn't prime real estate.
Right.
Was that partly due to its location?
Exactly. Bafu Base was landlocked with no direct road leading to it.
Wow.
This could have easily discouraged anyone,
Yeah.
but Pastor Lumaow wasn't deterred.
What did he do?
He turned to what had helped his family before prayer.
And that's where he found the inspiration to literally carve a path forward.
Yes. He found strength and guidance in a verse from the Bible.
Wow.
I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. It was a powerful message of hope and a call to action.
I can imagine.
And remember, this was challenging terrain.
Yeah.
Rocky, steep, and overgrown.
So creating this road was more than just moving some dirt around.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a monumental undertaking.
It absolutely was.
Yeah.
He had to clear giant boulders, smaller rocks, thick wild grass, even trees.
Oh, my goodness.
It was backbreaking work, but his determination, fueled by his faith and that inspiring biblical verse, kept him going.
And the result is a road that stands as a testament to his perseverance.
Yes.
It's almost a physical manifestation of his unwavering commitment to this land.
It truly is. The road to Bafu Base isn't just a way to get there.
Yeah.
It's a symbol of the challenges overcome and the power of dedication.
We've talked about prayer playing a significant role in dramatic moments like the windstorm.
Right.
But it seems like it was also woven into the day-to-day development of Bafu Base.
That's right. Prayer wasn't just reserved for emergencies.
Yeah.
Pastor Lumaow consistently relied on prayer for guidance, for strength, and even for resources whenever he faced a challenge.
Okay.
He had an unwavering belief that with faith, anything was possible.
And this belief clearly fueled his actions.
Yes.
It's incredible to think that almost every inch of Bafu Base has been shaped by his efforts.
It's a remarkable testament to his vision, and it speaks volumes about the legacy he's building, a legacy deeply rooted in his family's history, their unwavering faith, and his own tireless dedication to transforming this land.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really striking how this story weaves together themes of faith, family, and perseverance.
Yeah.
You know, we've heard about the windstorm, the inheritance process, the building of the road. It all points to something bigger than just physical labor.
You're right. It speaks to a deeper connection to purpose and legacy.
Yeah.
Pastor Lumaow didn't inherit a finished product.
Right.
He inherited a responsibility, a chance to build upon what came before him. And that's something I think a lot of people can relate to, even if it's not about a physical piece of land.
I think you've hit on something really important there. Have you ever felt that sense of inheriting a responsibility?
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe not in a literal sense, but in terms of carrying something forward.
Absolutely. I think we all inherit things, whether it's values from our families, knowledge from our mentors, or even challenges from the generations that came before us. And how we choose to respond to that inheritance shapes who we become.
That makes me think about the challenges Pastor Lumaow faced.
Okay.
We've talked about the difficult terrain and lack of access.
Right.
Were there other obstacles he had to overcome?
Oh, there are many. Securing resources for the base was a constant struggle.
Yep.
He often had to rely on donations and the generosity of others who believed in his vision.
So not only did he have to physically build this base,
Right.
but he also had to build support for it.
Yeah.
Convince others of its value. That must have taken a lot of resilience.
It did, but Pastor Lumaow had a deep-seated belief in what he was doing.
Okay.
He saw the potential of this land to bring people together to foster understanding across cultures, and that conviction, that sense of purpose, helped him through the tough times.
It's almost as if the challenges themselves became part of the legacy,
Yeah.
part of the story that's being passed down.
I think that's a beautiful way to look at it. Challenges aren't just obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
They're opportunities to learn, to grow, and to demonstrate the strength of our convictions.
Right.
And in a way, they become part of the foundation for what we build, both literally and figuratively.
And in the case of Bafu Base, that foundation is incredibly solid,
Yeah.
both physically and metaphorically.
Right. Yeah.
We've talked about the literal transformation of the land, but what about the transformation that happens within the people who come to this base? What's the mission at the heart of it all?
The core mission of Bafu Base is to equip people to bridge cultural divides and share their faith across different cultures.
Okay.
It's about providing training resources and support for those who are called to do missionary work in diverse and often challenging environments.
So it's not just about building a physical space.
Right.
It's about building bridges between people, fostering understanding and empathy.
Exactly. The location itself plays a role in that.
Okay.
Being nestled in the mountains creates a sense of remoteness, of being away from the distractions of everyday life.
Right.
It allows people to focus inward, to connect with their own faith, and to prepare for the challenges of working in unfamiliar cultures.
And I imagine that sense of remoteness also fosters a sense of community.
Yes.
Among the people who come to Bafu Base,
Definitely.
they're all there sharing this experience, learning and growing together.
Absolutely. There's a real sense of camaraderie that develops. People come from all walks of life, from different backgrounds and cultures, but they're united by a common purpose. And that shared purpose creates a powerful bond.
You know, as we've been talking about this, I keep coming back to the idea of legacy.
Okay.
What do you think Pastor Lumaow's legacy will be?
That's a profound question. On a practical level, his legacy is the physical base itself.
Right.
A place that will continue to serve its purpose for generations to come. But I think his legacy goes beyond bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
It's the intangible impact he's had on countless lives, the people he's inspired to step outside their comfort zones and make a difference in the world.
It's that ripple effect.
Yeah.
The way his actions have inspired others to embrace their own sense of purpose and leave their own mark on the world.
Exactly. And that's a legacy that extends far beyond the boundaries of Bafu Base.
Right.
It's a legacy that lives on in the hearts and actions of everyone who's been touched by his story.
This deep dive has been so much more than just learning about a place in Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's been about exploring the power of faith, the meaning of legacy,
Right.
and the transformative impact one person can have when they commit to something bigger than themselves.
I completely agree. It's a story that reminds us that we all have the potential to create something meaningful, to leave behind a legacy that inspires others.
And sometimes that legacy starts with a seemingly undesirable piece of land,
Right.
a windstorm and a prayer. Makes you think, right, about like the potential that lies within each of us, even when we're faced with what seem like limitations.
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most unexpected inheritances, the rocky plots of land, so to speak, can become the foundation for something extraordinary.
And that the challenges we encounter along the way can actually strengthen our resolve and shape the meaning of our work.
Thinking back to the story of the windstorm, it's clear that faith played a crucial role for Pastor Lumaow's family.
Definitely.
Do you think that same faith is what continues to draw people to Bafu Base today?
I believe so.
For many, it's a place to deepen their own faith, to connect with others who share similar beliefs, and to prepare themselves for the challenges of working in cross-cultural settings.
Okay.
But it goes beyond just a shared belief system.
What do you mean?
There's also a shared commitment to service, to making a positive impact on the world.
Right.
People are drawn to Bafu Base because they want to be part of something larger than themselves, something that contributes to a greater good.
It's that desire to make a difference, to connect with something meaningful that resonates with so many people, regardless of their background or beliefs.
And what's beautiful about Bafu Base is that it provides a space for those aspirations to take shape. It's a place where people can learn practical skills, gain cross-cultural understanding, and develop the resilience needed to face the complexities of working in diverse communities.
We've talked about the challenges of building the base itself, the the physical labor and resourcefulness involved. What about the ongoing challenges of running a cross-cultural mission training base? What are some of the things Pastor Lumaow and his team have to navigate?
I think one of the biggest ongoing challenges is staying relevant and responsive to the ever-changing global landscape.
Okay.
Cultures evolve, new challenges emerge, and the ways in which people connect and communicate are constantly shifting.
Right.
Bafu Base has to adapt to those changes, constantly refining its curriculum and training methods to equip people for the realities of the world today.
It's not a static endeavor then.
Yeah.
It's a constant process of learning, evolving, and staying connected to the needs of the people they're serving.
Exactly. And that requires a lot of humility, a willingness to listen, and a commitment to lifelong learning.
Okay.
Another challenge is navigating the complexities of intercultural communication and understanding.
That's a huge one.
Yes.
Even with the best intentions, misunderstandings can happen
Oh, yeah.
when people from different cultures interact.
Absolutely. And that's where Bafu Base's emphasis on experiential learning comes in. It's not just about learning about different cultures in a classroom setting.
Right.
It's about immersing yourself in those cultures, building relationships with people from different backgrounds, and learning to navigate those complexities firsthand.
It's a reminder that true cross-cultural understanding goes beyond textbooks and lectures.
Yeah.
It requires empathy, open-mindedness, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones.
And that's the beauty of Bafu Base.
Yeah.
It provides a safe and supportive environment for people to do just that.
Okay.
It's a place where they can challenge their assumptions, broaden their perspectives, and develop the skills needed to bridge cultural divides and build meaningful connections with people from all walks of life.
As we wrap up this deep dive, it's clear that the story of Bafu Base is far more than just the story of a physical place.
Right.
It's a testament to the power of vision, perseverance, and faith.
Absolutely.
It's a story that challenges us to think about our own inheritances, both the tangible and intangible, and how we choose to shape them into something meaningful.
And it's a story that invites us to consider the legacy we want to leave behind, not just for ourselves, but for the generations that follow. What kind of world do we want to create? What kind of impact do we want to have?
Wow.
These are the questions that Pastor Lumaow's story inspires us to ask.
It's been a truly inspiring deep dive.
Yeah.
Filled with insightful reflections and thought-provoking questions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and for taking us on this journey to the heart of WIRI Bafu Base.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this exploration of legacy faith and the transformative power of human connection. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving to make a positive difference in the world.